Some changes are painful, but it's necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, family, can we talk for a moment? Let me tell you something. Change, that thing we run from, the thing we avoid like the plague. Change is that uncomfortable moment when life says, hey, it's time to level up, but you're sitting there thinking, I'm good right where I am. Let me tell you, if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever felt like you're spinning your wheels, it's probably because you're holding on to what no longer serves you. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. Change can hurt. It's not a gentle pat on the back. It's more like a shove that knocks the wind out of you. Maybe it's walking away from a toxic relationship. Maybe it's leaving a job that pays the bills but robs your soul. Or maybe it's letting go of the version of yourself that you outgrew years ago. That pain, that ache in your chest, that's growth knocking at your door. But let's talk about it. Here's what you got to understand. Pain is the price you pay for progress. Imagine a seed buried in the dirt. It's dark, it's lonely, and it's under pressure. But that seed doesn't complain, doesn't say, why me? It keeps pushing, breaking through the soil, stretching towards the light. That's what you're doing right now. You're breaking through the dirt of doubt, fear, and comfort. Let me give you a little secret, though. The thing you're so afraid to let go of, that's the thing holding you back. You can't grab hold of tomorrow if your hands are clinging to yesterday. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's uncertain. But let me tell you something. Nothing good ever grows in the comfort zone. Pain is temporary, but the lesson is forever. Now, listen to me real close. I want you to hear this. Pain is temporary. I don't care how bad it feels right now, how deep that ache is in your heart, or how much you question whether you'll make it through. You see, pain is like a storm. It comes in, it shakes things up, it tears up the ground beneath your feet. But just like every storm, it doesn't last forever. What hurts today, what feels like it's breaking you down, will pass. I promise you, it will pass. You will wake up one day and that weight that's been on your shoulders won't be there anymore. The tears you've been holding back will dry up. The fear, the doubt, the worry, it'll all fade away. But here's the thing, my friends. What remains when that storm passes is the lesson it's teaching you. You see, the pain isn't just here to make you suffer. The pain is here to teach you. Every tear, every broken moment, every time you felt like you couldn't take another step, it was all leading you to something greater. It was leading you to the wisdom you didn't even know you needed. You didn't realize it at the time, but that pain was sharpening you, making you more resilient, teaching you how strong you really are. That's the thing about life. It's got a way of teaching you lessons you don't expect. The world will throw you curveballs, and at first you want to quit. You wonder why this is happening to you, why you're the one having to go through it. But what you'll learn through the struggle is that the lesson you get on the other side is worth the fight. It's worth the discomfort, the heartbreak, the sleepless nights. And because in the end, it's not about what happened to you. It's about who you become because of it. Think about the toughest moments of your life, the ones that nearly broke you, the ones you thought you couldn't survive. Now think about how far you've come since then. You're still standing, aren't you? You made it through. You didn't give up. And that strength, that grit, that didn't come out of nowhere. It came from the lessons that pain taught you. How tough that you were back then is how tough you were today. And you proved to me So next time life hits you with something you didn't see coming, remember this. The pain you feel now is just temporary. It's just a chapter in your story. But the wisdom, the growth, the lessons, that's what stays with you forever. And if you can get through the storm with your head held high, you'll come out of it not only stronger, but with the kind of wisdom that can't be bought or borrowed. It's the kind of wisdom that stays with you for the rest of your life. So I'm telling you right now, whatever you're going through, however hard it feels, hold on. Because that lesson is going to change you in ways you never thought possible. And when you get through this, you'll be able to look back and say, that wasn't easy, but look at what I learned. And that lesson, that's what makes you unstoppable. Stop waiting for the right moment. Let me tell you something, and I want you to really hear me. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It ain't coming. I know you've been sitting there watching time pass, thinking you're going to get the perfect opportunity, the perfect sign, the perfect time to make your move. You're out here waiting for the stars to align, the world to give you a green light, and life to hand you a neat little package saying, now's the time. But I'm here to tell you, that moment you're waiting for is never going to come. And guess what? That's okay. Because the right moment is the one you create. You see, all those people who you think got it all figured out, newsflash, they didn't wait around for things to get just right. They didn't sit on the sidelines waiting for the stars to line up in some perfect, magical pattern. What they did was get up and start moving. They took the first step, even when it didn't make sense. They made the move when it wasn't convenient, when they didn't feel ready, when the odds were stacked against them. We need you to get this. Waiting for the right moment is a form of procrastination. And procrastination is just fear dressed up in a fancy outfit. It's the excuse we give ourselves when we're afraid to act. You keep thinking, I'll wait until everything is perfect. But what you don't realize is that moment never exists. Perfection doesn't exist in this world. So you got to stop holding yourself back by waiting for a moment that's never coming. You got to create your own moment. You got to look at your dreams, your goals, your desires, and say, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm making it happen right now. Because here's the truth. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time, right now. And to get to that next best time, right now. Think about it. How many times have you looked back and wished you'd done something sooner? How many opportunities slipped through your fingers because you were waiting for the right moment? I'll tell you this. There is no perfect time. If you keep waiting for everything to fall into place, you're going to be stuck in that cycle forever. You have to get comfortable with the discomfort of starting before you're ready. There's a reason you've been feeling that tug, that pull, that burning desire inside of you. That's life telling you to stop, holding back, and get to work. You know what you want, and you know what you need to do. So what are you waiting for? Oh, stop waiting, because waiting is costing you. It's costing you time. It's costing you experience. It's costing you the lessons that only come when you take action. I want you to understand something. Every second you wait, you're letting fear control your life. And fear doesn't do anything but hold you back. Fear isn't real. It's just a story you keep telling yourself. You got to change that story, and you do it by taking action. You don't need a perfect moment. You just need a moment to start. And I promise you, once you do, everything you've been waiting for will start to unfold right in front of you. But you've got to stop waiting and start moving. Growth demands sacrifice. Now, let me tell you something that a lot of people don't want to hear. Growth demands sacrifice. Yeah, I said it. It's not just a nice little addition to the journey. It's a requirement. You want to get better. You want to elevate your life. You want to step into your purpose, or you're going to have to give up some things. And it's not always going to be easy. But here's the cold, hard truth. If you're not willing to make some sacrifices, then you might as well stop dreaming about growth, because it ain't going to happen. Right? So think about it like this. When you plant a seed, it doesn't just pop out of the ground and bloom into a beautiful tree overnight. It has to give something up. It has to sacrifice its comfort, its time, and sometimes it has to give up its very survival instincts just to push through that dirt. The seed doesn't get to choose the conditions it grows under. It has to fight through the storms, through the droughts, through the cold nights. But you know what happens? It gets stronger. It grows taller. And that tree that comes out on the other side is unrecognizable from that little seed that once lived in the soil. Well, guess what? That's exactly what you're doing right now. You're that seed. You're planting yourself for something bigger. But to grow, you got to sacrifice the things that are holding you down. You can't keep carrying the same habits, the same people, the same thinking that you had when you were stuck. You want to grow? Then something's got to go. You've got to sacrifice the comfort of staying where you are. Staying in your comfort zone is like being a tree that refuses to grow because it's scared of the wind. But let me tell you something. The wind is coming, and it's meant to shape you. That discomfort you feel right now, that's the wind pushing you to become stronger. And what about your time? Growth demands your time. You want to get ahead, you want to get to the next level, you got to put in the work. You can't keep wasting time on distractions, on things that don't matter. You got to sacrifice late nights doing things that aren't moving you forward and replace them with late nights working on your dreams. You've got to trade that time on the couch for time working on yourself. It's not easy, and it doesn't feel good at first. But let me tell you something. If you're serious about your future, you'll make those sacrifices without hesitation. But wait, there's more. You're going to have to sacrifice some people along the way. Yeah, I've said it. There are people in your life who love you, sure, but they also love the old version of you. They love the you that stays comfortable, the you that doesn't challenge them, the you that doesn't ask for more. But you're about to outgrow them, and that's where it gets tough. Letting go of people who you care about, who've been in your life for years, isn't easy. But you can't let them pull you back while you're trying to soar. If someone's not helping you grow, they're holding you back. It doesn't make them bad people. It just means their time in your life has come to an end. And here's the kicker. You're going to sacrifice parts of yourself too. You're going to have to let go of your old mindset, your old habits, your old excuses. It's easy to say, well, that's just how I am. But if you're serious about growing, you can't keep making excuses. You've got to make that sacrifice. You've got to be willing to give up the old you to become the new you. It won't always feel fair. It'll feel like the world's asking for too much. It'll feel like you're giving up everything and getting nothing in return. But the truth is, all that sacrifice is building something far greater than you can see right now. Every little sacrifice, every step you take away from the old life is creating the new, stronger, more successful version of yourself. It's because you're doing the right thing. So are you ready to sacrifice? Are you ready to give up what's comfortable? Are you ready to put in the work, cut the distractions, and say goodbye to the things and people that no longer serve your purpose? Because if you are, then get ready. What's coming next is going to blow your mind. And I promise you, when you look back, you'll be grateful for every sacrifice, every tough decision, because those sacrifices will be what made you who you were always meant to be. But you got to make the sacrifice first. That's the key. Without it, you'll stay stuck. So let me ask you again, are you ready to grow? Because growth demands sacrifice. You're stronger than you think. But let me tell you something you might not know about yourself. You're stronger than you think. I know you've been through some stuff, some pain, some disappointments, some heartache, and right now you might be questioning if you even have it in you to keep going. You might be thinking, I can't do this anymore. I can't take another hit. I don't have the strength to push through. But I'm telling you right now, you've got way more inside of you than you realize. You've been through battles you didn't even know you could survive. You've made it through some of your hardest days. And you're still here, you're still standing. When life knocked you down, you got back up, even when you didn't feel like it. And that's the thing. The fact that you're still standing means you're stronger than you think. You've been carrying burdens you never thought you could carry. You've been dealing with things that would have taken someone else out. But somehow, some way, you're still moving forward. Even when everything in you wanted to quit. Even when the weight of the world was on your shoulders, you didn't quit. You kept going. And that right there proves your strength. You see, strength isn't just about lifting heavy weights or handling the big challenges in life. Strength is about what you do when life gets tough. Strength is about how you keep going even when you don't know how much longer you can hold on. It's about the resilience you find when you're in the darkest place, the courage you find when fear is all around you, the determination you find when you feel like giving up. That's strength. And here's the thing, we all go through hard times. We all face moments when we feel like we've hit rock bottom, when we think there's no way out. But I want you to know that in those moments, you are building something that's going to make you unbreakable. Every time you face adversity and you choose to keep going, you get stronger. You may not see it at the time, but the pieces of strength are stacking up. You're becoming more resilient with every setback. And it's okay if you don't feel strong right now. It's okay if you feel like you're barely hanging on. I'm telling you, those feelings are part of the process. Those feelings are not a sign of weakness. They're a sign that you're in the middle of something that's going to make you stronger than you've ever been before. And you will look back one day and say, I can't believe I made it through that. And so, and you will look back one day and say, I can't believe I made it through that. But let me tell you something else. You can't see your strength if you're always focused on what's going wrong. You've got to start focusing on what's going right. You've made it through every tough day you've had so far. You've faced every challenge you've been given, and you're still here, still fighting. Every battle you've won, even the ones no one else knows about, has made you stronger. You've been building your strength all along, piece by piece, moment by moment. Sometimes we get so caught up in what we're going through that we forget to see just how far we've come. I want you to stop right now and look at all the times you've been knocked down and still got back up. Think about those moments when you thought you couldn't go any further, and yet somehow you found the strength to take that next step. That's strength. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are stronger than you think, and I'm here to remind you of that. You've got a power inside of you that's untapped. You've got resilience that can't be measured and courage that knows no boundaries. Don't let your current situation fool you. Don't let the struggle make you forget who you really are, because what you are going through right now is temporary, but the strength you've gained from it will last a lifetime. So the next time life throws a curveball at you, or when the road ahead seems too difficult to walk, remember this: you are stronger than you think. And if you can keep going today, you'll wake up tomorrow stronger than you were yesterday. It's in you. You've always had it in you. Now all you have to do is trust yourself enough to let it shine. You've got this. You've got this. Because you've already proven to yourself that you can handle more than you ever thought possible. Every time life tried to knock you down, you found a way to get back up. You've faced obstacles that would have broken other people, but you're still here. And you're not just surviving, you're learning, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself, even in the hardest of times. Here's the thing, we all have a breaking point. We all have moments where we feel like giving up, when we question whether we're strong enough to keep going. But I want you to remember that the breaking point isn't where you stop. It's where you learn who you truly are. It's where you discover a strength inside you that you didn't even know was there. And when you get through it, you come out stronger than ever before. Now, you might not always feel like it. You might not always feel like a warrior or like you're handling everything with grace. But strength isn't about never feeling weak. Strength is about showing up anyway. It's about doing what you have to do, even when it feels like you're not capable of doing it. You see, the real power comes when you push through the pain, when you continue to move forward, even when your body and mind are telling you to stop. And that's exactly what you're doing. So no matter what you're facing right now, whether it's financial struggles, personal challenges, or anything else that's trying to hold you back, remember, you are stronger than you think. You've got an inner power that can move mountains. And it doesn't matter how many times you fall, how many obstacles you face, or how tired you get. What matters is that you get up again every time. You are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. Don't let the temporary struggles make you forget the strength that's deep inside of you. You've carried it with you all this time, even when you didn't see it yourself. You've been through the storm, and you're still standing. That's strength. That's what makes you powerful. So I want you to look at yourself in the mirror right now, and I want you to tell yourself, I am stronger than I think. Say it with conviction. Say it like you mean it. And the next time life tries to knock you down, I want you to remember who you really are. You're not fragile. You're not weak. You're stronger than you think. And no matter what happens, you will rise, because that's what you were made to do. You've got this. and you're about to prove to yourself just how strong you really are. Oh, listen to me, family. I know it's hard. I know it feels like you're walking through fire. But that fire isn't here to burn you. It's here to refine you. It's burning off the parts of you that don't belong in your future. So take a deep breath, square your shoulders, face that change head on. Because on the other side of this pain is a version of you that you're going to be so proud of, a version of you that's stronger, wiser, and ready to take on the world. And when you get there, you'll look back and realize that pain, it wasn't just necessary, it was worth it. End quote.